Okay. The setup is a little weird because I actually don't have my headphones on, so I'm not hearing the feedback of my own voice back into the headphones. Just trying that as an experiment. So, I don't know. Also, what I say at the end of this might be important. You don't have to watch till the end, you can just use the progress bar to skip forward till the end. But at the start, I'm just going to jump right into the game. We're not going to mess around too much. Well, it's not really a game, you know, the story. That not very, it doesn't have very much interaction involved. Okay. It's okay to go home to. Let's start with Google Translate right off the bat. I could have gone home, and I was going to invite Tomoya, like I always do, but for some reason, I stopped myself. Or felt guilty. I guess those are two alternate translations, which sound quite a bit different to an English speaker. I know the cause, but no matter how I think about it, I can't come up with an answer. I didn't get a wink of sleep last night either. What would she feel guilty about? Yeah, that's the thing I don't get. That might mean stopped myself might be a better translation. I left the school store and went to the cafeteria alone, but I didn't want to eat anything. Remember, this is UA's perspective. Within the partially populated heated dining hall, drowsiness was gradually assaulting me. And then a small figure stood in front of UA. Eh! Minamo-chan. Curious, Minamo came looking for her from the school store and sat down across from her with a smile. Daijobu, which is, are you okay? Minamo will be like, I take that as a no. Minamo tilts her head in concern at this lifeless reply. Geez, what's wrong? Yeah, Dosha Tano. What's wrong? It's not like you to be absent minded. Really? I mean, it kind of is, actually. UA. Does something. While Minamo tried her best to act cheerful, Yue's reaction was quiet. The action actually, like the English word, like it's spelled out in katakana. I'm a little sleep deprived. I'm lost in thought. Right. Both are technically true, but not actually saying the correct answer. Yeah, it's like avoidance with technical truth. Oh well, geez. Do you want something to eat? I'm sure eating something warm like udon will cheer you up. Incoming noodle debate. It's not warm. Maybe it's already cold. Minamo's eyes go wide when she hears Yue in a small voice. Udon noodles are still. Oh, that's their. Okay, this is about your relationship. What you saying? What's with your relationship? Says Minamo. So a Futari no something or other. Not Futari. Futari no whatever those kanji are. I guess is relationship. Futari means together. Yue nods and hangs her head in front of Minamo, I presume. Ah, I recognize Ashita finally. Don't tell me you broke up. Did he dump you? Did you dump him? Right. What are you gonna do tomorrow? Christmas? Present to wa? Christmas wa? Present to wa? It's like Christmas? Presents? In front of Minamo, who was soaring, leaning forward, and asking quick questions in rapid succession, Yue began to row the boat. It's an interesting idiom. As Google Translate says, as Minamo rises, leans forward, and starts asking questions one after the other, Yue begins to row the boat. Which I guess is like an idiom in Japan, but I don't understand Japanese idioms, so I don't understand what that means. I do like how it's just the idiom is supposed to like Google Translate trying to figure out an equivalent English one. Gulp, 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 gulp. I guess roll the boat is like her face slammed into the table and she stopped moving. Is like some sort of like breakdown of some sort. Choto, Yue-chan, Yue-chan. So Choto is kind of like wait in this context, right? Wait, Yue-chan, Yue-chan. Choto doesn't actually mean wait, it means a little bit, right? But it's kind of like comes from the expression, right? If you want to say Choto mate means wait a bit. And so, for some reason, they're so used to saying choto before the mate that if they don't say mate, they just say choto. When Minamo hastily sat up, Yue muttered to herself, her sleeping face still red. Look what you did, Tomoya. Yep, it is sleeping. Tomo-chan. He just doesn't give a crap. Basically the case. What's that? What do you mean by Tomo-chan? Ne. Hit the remove text from screen button, basically. I want to look at that background of cafeteria tables and chairs. Minamo shook her violently, trying to get some information out of her, but Yue was still breathing softly in her sleep. There were traces of tears on her cheeks. This time, Kaoru catches Yue's unsteady gait as she walks out of the dining hall, supported by Minamo. That was confusing to me because like the sentence starts with Minamo, actually. That's how the word order works. But then the English translation spit out the Alpha translator ends the sentence with Minamo. Yeah, for like wondering this is where Minamo is in the sentence. This is where Kaoru is in the sentence. This is where Yue is in the sentence. Ah, there you are, Imasaka-san. Let's have some tea. Said by Kaoru. She goes, nah, I'm not in the mood for that today. Kyowa. Suiu. I don't know the kanji. Ja. No, it's actually so yeah, so you. So you. That's weird. You can't, Yue-chan. Kon na is that it's not this time is for eating, right? Because it's taberu. Right? You can't not eat, right? No, Yue-chan, at times like this, you have to eat. At times like this, eat. And then someone says, that's right, you have to cheer up, which I presume might be Minamo. Then I presume Yue says demo, which is but. Yue was still half asleep, trying to refuse, but her arms were firmly pinned down from both sides, making it impossible for her to escape. Manhandled. It's fine, just follow me. That's something Kaoru would say, I presume. Again, even in English, I have a hard time following dialogue where it doesn't say who's speaking. It drives me nuts. Tomoya watched Yue half forcefully drag her down the hallway. I presume Tomoya watched Yue half forcefully being dragged down the hallway from the shadows, sighing in relief. Can I switch to Tomoya now? That'd be great. He didn't know what to do about tomorrow's Christmas, or what would happen next. That's why I wanted to put as much distance between himself and Yue as possible. That's when he ran into Minamo and Kaoru walking away with Yue-san between them. Tomoya hurried out of the school, checking the area to make sure the three of them didn't find him. However, Nani ya tenda, Tomoya? Who says it? What are you doing, Tomoya? It's not Tomo-chan, so saying it's not Yue. It also is oddly energetic for someone in Yue's state to say, so I presume it would be Minamo. But Minamo would say Tomoya-san, wouldn't she? Or Tomoya... Who would drop the honor for Kaoru? Yeah, it wouldn't be... it would be Shion because she would not drop the honorific. Oh, it's Sheen. Okay. Yeah, Sheen. Tomoya blatantly grimaced at his bad friend, who seemed to have been waiting for him just outside the gate. Aren't you with Yue-chan? Then go out with me. Where are you going? Where I told you to go. Okay. Grabbing me by the collar, Tomoya being grabbed by the collar, Tomoya had no choice but to walk as if being dragged by Sheen. Okay, the restaurant from Kaoru's route of the main game. It's crowded with students on their way home from school inside the Burger Whack. You think it's weird, but that's like what it spells out. Ba, it's ba-ga-wak. Ba-ga-waka. Wak. Wak. I don't know if that's supposed to mean anything or not. Sitting at the four-person table in the palanquin. Man, the offline translator likes the word palanquin. You, probably Sheen was chua choo and drinking his shake with a straw. As usual, he didn't have much of an appetite, so he had no choice but to order only that. Is it Tomoyo? Oh, Yue. Okay. Oh, it is correct. It is Yue. Okay, sitting at the four-person table, Yue was drinking her shake from the straws. She didn't have much of an appetite. She had no choice but to order only that. So we got that's confusing. We got dragged. We were Tomoya. We got dragged away by Sheen, but then now we're switched back to Yue's perspective. So we're not Tomoya having been dragged away. Although this might be where Sheen drags Tomoya. Minamo, Kaoru, who are sitting across from Yue-san, but there's no san though. Interesting. Were munching away at the burger set they had ordered. Burger sets, I presume plural, they had ordered. I guess Masha is munching. See, a burger set is like a burger and fries, right? And a soda. So there's no way you don't have any plans. Yue nodded silent in response to Kaoru's question, which sounded like a police interrogation with a hamburger in one hand. Very threatening way in which you hold that hamburger. You weren't invited? The Yue's face, which does not contain any smile whatsoever, this is a translator error, darkens even further. Nothing. Tomo-chan didn't seem to like talking about Christmas. I guess that's something Yue said. Yeah, nanimo means nothing. Yes, Tomoya is Scrooge. Even though it's a day like this, I wonder what he's thinking. But didn't something like a foreshadowing happen? Foreshadowing? That's meta. But there must have been some kind of prelude, right? Nai, which means there wasn't. Yue, her tone still somber, spoke clearly. Flustered, Kaoru gave a blatant follow-up. But maybe there's a surprise on the day of, and that's why he's been avoiding it all this time. No, it's Tomoya. There's no surprise. Well, part of that's dramatic irony, but well. Ah, I see you're right. I'm sure that's it. He's being cold on purpose because he wanted to surprise Yue-chan tomorrow. Tomoya-san and Yue-sama. I'm sorry for everything until now. I presume Minamo said that line because it sounded like something Minamo would say. Minamo forced herself to be cheerful, but Yue shook her head weakly. Okay, so it was Minamo. Judging from Tomo-chan's personality, I don't think so. Yue would have said that line. Well, there's no way he'd do something so inconsiderate, right? I know it said considerate, but some negative missing. There's no way that Tomoya would do something so clever, you know? I guess that's something Kaoru said. Which is it, Kaoru-san? Which I presume would be Minamo, what Minamo said. Yeah. Oh, well, this is... It's, well, I just... Something like that. I just... No, he's just an airhead. Kaoru smiled bitterly at Ever's outburst and bowed her head apologetically. Then, with a formal expression, she turned to Yue. There's no sign of that at all? Even if it's not Christmas, there's no promise to meet or anything? Yue nods in response to their questions. Deny, which means like no. Which means like deny. Maybe we shouldn't have pushed him. Maybe we should have pushed him more, even though they're lovers. The mood is just too bad. Actually, it doesn't feel like they're lovers. What's with that, What's with this Keiji situation? Like an unprovoked Cold War. Like no one hurt anybody else, it just kind of like went that way. Speaking as if she was talking about herself, Kaoru put an half-angry hamburger in her mouth. Yes, that situation, like that, like, stabbed herself in the heart. Yeah, because like she intentionally avoided her boyfriend, like Tomoya's intentionally avoiding Yue, and then lost him. Jeez, Mo Ino, which might be, we don't know who that is, Minamo or Yue. Oh, Yue. Yue's voice fades into obscurity and her smile grows darker and darker. What do you mean it's not good? How can a couple not welcome each other, I guess, with open arms? It's not good. How would a couple do if they didn't celebrate Christmas Eve together? That's right, I think it's an important day. Tomorrow, I'll go to Mikami-kun's house in the morning, no matter what, and I'll reach him. I presume that's Kaoru talking. Eh? Which would be what Yue would say. Yue be like, eh? In contrast to Kaoru, Yue raised her head as if it had nothing to do with it. Her gloomy expression remained unchanged, as if it was inversely proportional to the excitement around her. What are you going to do by staying here? Okay, I will admit, since this whole thing is kind of written poorly, but this conversation is actually written pretty well. Like, this is a pretty realistic thing where, like, everyone's, like, discussing how to make you, like, help you, and you're just like, you don't get it. You know what I mean? What are you doing by staying here? I mean, this is like Tomoya's personality, right? It seems permanent. It's like he's going to do the same thing again next year. Staying here, what should I do? I tried saying it, probably Minamo tried saying it, but Kaoru didn't have any more ideas. Instead, she started listing off words that came to mind. Okay, so Kaoru's just going to start blasting. Anyway, if we meet and we talk together, it's not like we're fighting or anything. It's not like you're fighting or anything. Why don't you try making small talk? It's cold today. Like, it's cold today. How does Kaoru know she's not fighting? What happens if I do? Then... what if I do? Oh. Minamo, at a loss for an answer, turns to Kaoru for help. Something, it starts with small talk. Sometimes, right? It starts with small talk. Let's start with that. It's like, eventually you're just gonna run off. Like, on you guys! Then let's talk about it first. Come on, let's see if we understand each other and see what we don't yet. Thank you for worrying about me, you two, but Tomo-chan doesn't seem to care about Yue anymore. No matter what I do. That's not true, that's not true. How would you know? Namo tried waving her hand cheerfully, but Yue couldn't see it when she was looking down. If he really doesn't like Imasaka-san, you can just say whatever you want, or you can do it on, can't do it, oh. Huh? If you really hate, if you were to really hate Imasaka-san, you would just say whatever you want to avoid her, or ignore her on purpose. Ah, he's doing it all, right? Next to Kaoru, Minami shook her head, saying, "This is no good." Okay, you have been diagnosed with breakup. Why did that have to be such a disaster? Like, of all things, why did that miss OCR so bad? I don't understand. Every other line was fine, but not this one. Well, I'll dither the OCR settings, which I shouldn't need to do. I just changed it slightly just to make it slightly different. Okay. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay. So a bunch of junk in front, and then we have Tomo-chan's been like that for a long time. Minamo's expression darkened in front of Yue's increasingly depressed smile, or increasingly depressed face, and Kaoru flailed her hands, panicking. Anyway, we're going to spin tomorrow together. Even you're gonna spin tomorrow together, even if it means you're barging in. If you're out, you can break a window if you want. I'll think of something to trigger it. Eto. I feel like he'll run away if I feel like he'll run away if you do it outside. Yeah, so do it inside the house. That's right. You'll force him to give you a present. Or I'll force him to give you a present. One or the other. I don't know. It's impossible to tell in Chinese. There's no pronoun. I have a good movie, so I'll lend it to you. Anyway, it'll be easier to have a conversation if you make a common topic, right? I think this is all Kaoru speaking. You might be like, yeah, I'll try, thanks. Just to get this over with, could you we stop this conversation? Hit it and break it! That doesn't sound like something you would say to someone with a boyfriend. There are some times in life when violence is called for, and this is one of them. Yue smiles a little at the desperate Kaoru, and tears fall onto the table. Kind of weird, to fight for your boyfriend that hard. It's like you shouldn't have to do that. Thank you, yeah, I'll try. Although I'd do it with someone like me, because there's no way I would, aggressively go. You'd have to kind of match. This time, Yue smiles, her usual smile, as she turned her cheeks wet. Or turned her wet cheeks. I kind of understand why Tomoya ended up like that. It might not be a problem I can do anything about now, but I'll have everyone's support, so let's do what I can. She thought a little. Okay, we're at the arcade or something? The street outside the arcade? Why are you here on a day like this? Tomoya asked himself. Okay. That's not true. Sheen brought me to his favorite arcade. This is where Tomoya gets his sudden protagonist hero change of heart. The hero complex kicks in. Why do two men have to come to a place like this before? It's so sad. And on a day like this. You don't have any plans for a day like this, don't you? Well, that's true. If you're free, go out with me. Well, I had nothing to do, but... Sheen seemed to click on Tomoya's vague reply, and he closed in on him, breathing heavily through his nose. You're fine. Yue-chan's here. On a day like this... I'm alone. I'm lonely. From the bottom of his heart, Sheen could see faint tears welling up in his eyes, as if he was frustrated by the relationship between Tomoya and Yue. Like jealous? Is Sheen like an enemy? Are you crying? Shut up, let's get started. Fine, I'll play. I want to play a game. This should be fine, right? Let's play a game. Reluctantly sitting in front of the battle game, Tomoya put the coin in. The screen brightened and the game began. However, Tomoya couldn't focus on the screen because the words of Sheen... What? Yue. Sheen saying Yue caught his attention. Oops. Unsteady on his hands, operating the levers, Tomoya unsteadily operated them, not looking directly at the screen. By the way, I know I invited you to a place like this, but are you planning on something with Yue-chan tomorrow? Okay, it's time for Tomoya to do the classic Tomoya blatantly lie. Responding to the name Yue, again Tomoya looked up, but he couldn't see Sheen on the game console. He just saw Ayaka. No. Yeah, not really. She'd be like, what the heck? Not really, you're dating, aren't you? Come on, your movements are slow. Make sure you move properly. He did as he was told and looked at the screen, only now realizing which game he'd been playing. It was called Memories Off. You're a brave girl, so why are you cold? No, I thought you'd accept my invitation and came here because you've already decided on what to do tomorrow. I guess that's Sheen talking, but brave girl. She's so brave, so why are you being so cold towards her? Right. You're the one who forced me to come here, aren't you? For some reason. What's wrong with you? You're such a happy-go-lucky guy. It's not too late. Your girlfriend's house is in the neighborhood, isn't it? Go there. Wait, aren't you done with this? Ah, you should have moved a little more. Not Yui-chan, but the one in the game. I'm operating the levers as I'm told, but I can't concentrate on the game at all. We may be childhood friends, but tomorrow's an annual event. It's only at times like that, so do something for. Oh, you might be childhood friends. Okay. I hadn't expected Sheen to tell me that. It was true that I've been avoiding her so much. I hadn't made any progress. This is something I've been repeating myself over and over again. Brain fog. The game seems to be over while we're doing that. Tomoya's crushing defeat takes place without even needing to look at the screen. Ah, just one more time. Tomoya looked up apologetically and said, without my incompetence, we ended up playing a salty game. What? Tomoya looked up apologizing about his poor performance, that his poor performance had led to a disappointing game. Of course it is. This isn't the end. Do it properly next time. Then go to Yui-chan's place. I could hear Sheen's dissatisfied voice on the other side of the game console. This is like, understood. I know. Yeah, same thing. I put the coin in and it was a rematch, but Tomoya was taking his eyes off the screen again. Yui and Sheen's words bother him. You're telling me to go. Well, I guess you're right, but what should I do after that? And is it really okay for me to go? Yeah, what would the dog actually do once it finally caught up to the car it was chasing? While thinking about that, the game ended with another overwhelming victory for Sheen. No, come back later. There's no competition. Tomoya looked up with the start as Sheen tapped him on the shoulder. At this rate, it feels like you want to go to Yui-chan's place at any moment. Sorry, it's my fault. Go ahead. No, I... Go, yeah. You don't care about me anymore, do you? Why didn't you tell me in the first place? Ah, I'm starting to feel sad again. With a thump, Sheen gave me a push to drive me out. Who brought you here without question? Should have been me. I wanted to hang out with Sheen like this, but as Sheen said, I'm worried about Yui. However, Tomoya crossed his mind, whatever that means, and tried to leave the arcade, dragging his feet. Samazama. With a variety of emotions swirling around in his mind, Tomoya limped out of the arcade. Huh? That's... Sheen stood before him and pointed. There was a familiar figure in front of the crane game console near the entrance. Up here shown. Her shoulders slumped as she stared at the game console like she was having a staring contest. That's... Futami-san? Tomoya also noticed someone immediately from behind. Oops, I'm somehow advancing the text. I don't know what's going on. Why is it autoing? Stop. Okay. It's rare to see you here, Futami-san. Sheen called out to her. Shion turned around and instinctively raised both arms to hide her face. I don't know you guys. No, I don't know. Is that so? The sound of Sheen's voice Shion lowered her arms in resignation. What are you doing here? It's rare for Shion to go to an arcade by herself, Emily, I thought. It's not like I'm playing around in a place like this. It's just that I can't quite get this here, so I'm pouring coins into it, that's all. Not that I'm playing around, it's just that I'm playing around. As she said that, Shion tapped her finger on the glass-walled part of the game thing. Doesn't that mean you're just playing dumb? Or does it mean that you are playing? Or doesn't that mean you are playing? Isn't that playing around? Which would be what Sheen charged in, but this time he feigned ignorance. Sheen pointed at a pile of teddy bears. Wow, so this is... We're gonna have Sheen get the teddy bear out? Sheen raised his voice to say, I'm surprised you're so desperate to play a game in a place like this, Shion, rather than wanting a stuffed animal. Yeah, I just try to find like something... somewhere you can just buy it. Actually, Mikami-san told me about it before, and I came here in secret. Perhaps out of frustration at not being able to take it, Shion's voice grew quieter and quieter. Oh, so Tomoya, huh? What the hell are you doing to Futami-san? Typical protagonist stuff. No, that was before I started dating Imisaka-san, so, no. Shion hurriedly followed up on Sheen, who was elbowing Tomoya so many times that it felt like a hole was going to open in his side. Let's see. Then I'll take your place. Corey, you're in the corner. Something about locating a specific bear in the machine. That's not it. It's in the middle. Tomoya cut in from behind Sheen, who wanted to take Shion's place. It's definitely not like that. It's in the corner. Shut up already. I put the coin in and stared intently at the rising crane. The glass in front of him reflected the sullen face of Sheen and Shion, who clasped their hands together in prayer. He gets it in the main game. I wonder if he gets it in the after story. Honestly, if you screw up, I'll be next. Tomoya nodded without replying, then carefully pressed the pull button. The ascending crane moved. Mada, 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 which is not yet. Not yet. Yeah, that's enough. Just compare them there. Between them out. Seeing Sheen's voice from behind, Tomoya still couldn't compare the crane. Stop the crane. Stop it there. Tomoya could not stop the crane. Okay. Tomoya let go of his hand, takes a breath, and presses the next button. The crane moves to the transport and the palanquin. Please, onegai shimasu. Perhaps responding to Shion's prayer, Tomoya let go of the button even faster than before. Which means he dropped it early. Crane stopped on husband's side. Crane stopped and begins to descend, but in the wrong direction, as if it will never be able to grab the stuffed animal. That's why I said it. What are you trying to show off for? The descending crane came to a stop, spread out its arm at the end, grabbed one of the legs from inside the pile of stuffed animals, and began to climb. Huh? Yes. As he looked through the glass at Sheen's surprised face, Tomoya smiled boldly as if he hadn't shown it before. Tomoya smiled a defiant smile that he hadn't seen until now. Well, what do you mean, go for the corner? You haven't got it through the box yet. You haven't dropped it through the box yet, Tomoya. Same time as Tomoya turned around, the stuffed animal dropped into the receiver. Perfect timing. Timing spelled out in katakana. Okay. Satisfying clappy ending. That's what it was. Intense fiction. By the way, I've never played a crane game, so I looked at that and thought that's just stupid. The arm here was a hard setting. That's why you can get off just one leg. If you try to grab the torso, it'll slip and make it harder to get off. It's like he's making up stuff to justify his mistake that was barely not a mistake. The arms here are set up very stiffly, so you can grab by just one leg. If you try to grab by the body, it will slip and it's even harder to grab. Taking the stuffed animal out of the receiver, Tomoya handed it to Shion. Okay, isn't this fine? Yes, thank you very much. Really, for this? She seemed to really want it, and when she lightly hugged the stuffed animal, she suddenly glared at Tomoya. Anyway, putting that aside, Mikami-san. Yes? What are you doing in a place like this? Don't tell me you forgot what day tomorrow is. I heard a similar line from Sheen. Shion's spirit made Tomoya, and for some reason Sheen straightened up without thinking. Christmas, Daru. It's Christmas, right? Her confident expression grew darker as she finished off the stuffed animal in one shot. What does finished off mean? She just ate it? The confident expression on his face after taking down the stuffed animal with one shot gradually darkens. Okay, so getting the stuffed animal in one shot. I know, so why are you wandering around in a place like this? No, that's because of Sheen. Tomoya glanced at Sheen, thinking that he'd been playing around too, hadn't he? He really wouldn't say anything good if he met it. So, let's see here. We're just having fun, so I guess if we meet on a day like this, we won't have anything good, Tomoya thought, glancing at Sheen. I don't know what he's thinking. Something about Sheen won't betray him, or I don't know. I didn't get that line. Perhaps to avoid responsibility, Sheen waved his hand as if to say, I don't know. Even though Imisaka-san's only worried about how to get along with Mikami-san, even though she doesn't know what's going on in his mind, he's just playing dumb. What? Misaka-san is worried about how to get along with Mikami-san without knowing his feelings, her feelings. Without knowing her feelings, he just plays around. But it's true that I can't say anything back. Up until now, I've been keeping my distance from Yue, trying to avoid talking about important things. Not demo. No buts. Mikami-san is running away. Shion's words become a sharp target and stab deep into Tomoya's chest. This worked. I'm not even trying to face you at all. You're not even trying to face Imisaka-san at all. That's so cruel. Shion's next words pierced Tomoya's chest. There's like lots of holes in his chest now. I can't blame her for saying that. For example, if Sheen said the same thing to me, it wouldn't really matter. I might laugh it off or get mad at him for it. But this is coming from someone it's kind of smart, actually. And I kind of respect her. Either way, we'd probably just joke around and ignore it. But when Shion saw Yue worrying about it somewhere, she said she was right. So Tomoya couldn't say anything. He just had no choice but to shut up. I don't know, she said she was right, but she was right. Right, that's the point. The more she said, the more Tomoya distanced himself from Yue. So what am I supposed to do? I mean, I'm not avoiding her because I want to, but as I remembered that in my mind, before I knew it, Shion had disappeared from Tomoya's sight. Apparently she was angry, exasperated, and had left them behind. Well, that's how it is. Just stay with her tomorrow. With a light wave, Sheen left the store as well. Understood. It's absolute. Okay. Sheen couldn't hear him, but Tomoya hung his head and murmured, the clamor inside the store was so loud that he wondered if it had been this loud all this time. Yellow background. Leaving the arcade, Tomoya wandered aimlessly through the city. The Christmas lights hanging all over the place hurt his eyes. After hearing so much from Sheen and Shion, he finally honestly didn't know what to do anymore. However, Tomoya thought, I also knew that tomorrow would be the perfect opportunity to make amends for the coldness I've been giving Yue until now. Unwilling to do anything, Tomoya's feet were headed for the shopping district, as if drawn to a poster with the words Christmas Sale dancing on it. Face each other, huh? For the time being, Tomoya thought, I'll create an opportunity to meet her and give her a present. So I went into the toy store. Toys might not make Yue smile or laugh. No, knowing that childish Yue, there might actually be something that would make her happy. Tomoya rummaged through this and that as he asked himself that question. Want to know what to get me for Christmas? Contrabassoon. No. Well, I was looking at the stuffed animal corner for some reason. It's like that jazz song. It was like, was it Santa Baby? She's asked for a ridiculous amount of things. When I was looking at the stuffed animal corner for some reason, I noticed a cat plushie. Well, why would she want a cat plushie if she just has, like, real cats? I guess real cats you can't really plush. Oh, and my eye stopped. Remember, the whole comparative stopped, right? It was a kitten plushie made to look exactly like the real thing. Wow, with this... As I stared intently at it and patted its head, an elderly man who seemed to be the owner poked his head out of the shop's... It's always a palanquin. Oni-chan, are you giving her a Christmas present? It's interesting he calls him Big Brother. And Ma? Is that like calling some... Is that like when the waiter is like talking to you and she refers to you like by honey? I actually, for some reason, I have that happen to me a couple times. And there's something like about the way I look, which I've never showed on the internet in relation to this YouTube channel, that makes old ladies think I'm cute. Which isn't really that useful. It makes me feel weird, but Oni-chan, your eyes are so high. When you put the batteries in that plushie, it squeaks like the real thing, and when you've had it on the head, it tells you to move your... It moves its neck and moves its legs. Well, it makes you look like it makes it look like a real pet. Okay, this is it. This is Oni-chan for you. Man, I give up. Something about... Okay, so just a big sales pitch. Hey, big boy, Oni-chan. You have a good eye. That stuffed animal, when you put batteries in, it makes a real voice. And when you stroke its head, it moves its neck and legs. So it's like having a real one. It's great. You're a real big brother. I'm impressed. Oni-chan. Okay. Tomoya stared at the kitten. exactly like the real thing, then here's the real thing. There's the real thing, so I guess it's fine. I mean, Yue has some real things. Tomoya gently placed the kitten back where it belonged. Thank you very much. Please let me think about it a little more. Don't tell me he's gonna find a hair clip that's like a cat. That would be this. That would make it so that a parody of this kind of thing would make a super deep cut, because that would be from the after story. Tomoya bowed deeply and left the store. Is that Neko-chan bad? Then there's a monster, a kaiju. It's the exact same kaiju that walks on two legs with smoke when you put batteries in. Are you sure, Oni-chan? Obnoxious salesman. Behind Tomoya, the owner of the toy store is desperately engaging in a sales pitch. Like I said, it's a girl's present, and if it looks like the real thing, does that mean there's a real thing out there somewhere? A real kaiju out there somewhere? Have you ever seen one before, Oji-san? Muttering to himself, Tomoya entered the stationery store, which has a background that is way more crudely drawn and unfinished looking than the other backgrounds. It might show up in the extras, like, gallery. SketchUp books, color markers, paints. Oh, we could buy, what are those called? Copics. Although I don't know if Yue would know how to use those. No matter which one I look at, there's nothing that would make Yue smile. Speaking of painters, I've only ever done them, and I was young, and I've hardly ever seen Yue do them. Okay. What should I get? Oh, this is the store owner, the clerk, right? Okay, what shall we do? Christmas preparations? Presents? This time, a middle-aged woman calls out to me. Presents. It's a present. I see. She's your girlfriend, of course. What kind of things does she like? That's what I'm looking for. Tomoya said that with a bitter smile. Really? Why don't I draw for you, or give you a handmade present? But well, that kind of thing is pretty annoying. I don't know where to put it or how to dispose of it. Yeah, you don't know where to put it or how to dispose of it. Like you give me, then don't say it. Tomoya pecked at it in his mind. It's like, give her a drawing made by Minamo. I don't have much time left to paint, and I don't have much confidence in my art. Besides, I'm not the most skilled person in the art of handmade presents. Well, pay Minamo. Pay her. Tomoya was slapped hard on the back. Something like followed by this, but it won't like actually capture. Hey, this! Okay, I'll keep going. The only one who do this to Yue-san. I raised my voice and turned around to see Minamo standing there with a surprised look on her face. What? Only Yue would do something like this, I said in a loud voice, and turned around to see Minamo standing there with a shocked look on her face. Wow, I didn't know she would, like, literally machina in. Like, literally drop down using the machinery on the stage. Huh, Minamo-chan? Okay, something went wrong here. I introduced a zero where there shouldn't be one. Yeah, there's a bunch of junk at the end of it. I don't know where it came from. Okay, let's see here. Where's the correct part in? Okay, get rid of the... Oh, get rid of the zero. Okay, let's try. FU. Oh, I need to put it into comma. FU, SA, WA, SHI, I. Okay. It's I am more interested in drawing pictures. More like she is more interested in drawing pictures. I came here to buy art supplies. What are you doing here, Tomoya-san? Tomoya-san? Yes? The menacing look on her face made Tomoya straighten his back. I more or less understand what she's trying to say. I'm making Yue-chan cry. Geez, that's terrible. Like I said... Oh, is this girl a terrible person? She doesn't look like it. But could it be that she has 2 legs? That maybe she's cheating or something? The owner entered the conversation with a grin. You piece of poop. You shop owner. No, that is not true. And then... Oba-san, he's terrible. This person is terrible. He made a girl cry and came here to buy art supplies. Especially coming here to buy art supplies. What world is there someone who makes women cry and comes to buy ice art supplies? I thought Minamo's face was serious, and I could tell she was trying to win over a woman who seemed to know her face. You're young, so you're still a demon. Oh, scary. What, like an Oni? Even though he's young, he's a demon? Oh, he's scary. Like I said, you're wrong. The proprietor hugged her own body, trembling as she entered the store's recommendation. You mean the back? The hostess shrugged herself and shivered as she walked into the store. Or, I don't know what part of the store she walked into. Please don't stay here. Hurry up and go to Yue-chan's place. Come on. Tomoya spreads out one hand in front of Minamo. What does that mean? Like, stop. Like, palm forward. This is the third one today. I'm not going because you told me to, but I've been thinking about a lot of things, so I was wondering if there was a good present for her. Hearing that, Minamo's face returns to her usual expression. Well, if that's the case, please tell me as soon as you can. You didn't make me say it, huh? You didn't let me say it. Yeah, you came in and immediately started chewing my butt. That's right, Yue-chan's present. Wait, why don't you know... Why does Tomoya-san not know what she wants? That's why I'm in trouble. Do you know anything about it? I don't know. Isn't that usually something a boyfriend knows? Besides, if you've known her since you were little, you should know her very well enough to know. That's true normally. Seeing Tomoya's troubled face, Minamo must have sympathized because she looked up and started thinking about something. Aren't clothes safe? I think it would look good on you no matter what you wear. I think Yue would look good in anything, right? What about safe clothes? Yue would look good in anything she wears. Clothes, huh? Thanks. So is there a good store around here? Minamo answered Tomoya's question with a light thump of her chest. In response to Tomoya's words, Minamo tapped her chest lightly. Although, yeah, Minamo is into clothes, isn't she? But she didn't bother to buy any because she wouldn't have any opportunity to wear them. And Tomoya said, why don't you buy something big? You can grow into it. And she's like, I won't grow into it, but I don't want to say it. There's a good store up ahead. Yes, from Minamo's route. Although the background is the movie theater for some reason. There was a shop that everyone had told me about just past the movie theater street in the shopping district. Even so, Tomoya wondered if it wasn't strange for someone in a school uniform to buy women's clothes. Oi? Tomoya approached the front of the movie theater. He felt like someone had called for him. Of course, hey, Mikami Tomoya. So Kaoru, of course, because she'd be the one in front of the movie theater. Go to the arcade, you encounter Shion. Then you go to the art shop, you encounter Minamo. Then you go to the movie theater, you encounter Kaoru. Go to the grocery store, you encounter Koyomi. We're going to get through all of them, aren't we? She called out to me by my full name, so I can't pretend I don't know her. I looked to see Kaoru standing in front of the movie theater with her arms around her waist. I was going to just be like on her hips. Oh, it's you, Towa-san. What do you mean? You're a traitor, so there's no reason for you to say that. Hey, I don't deserve to be called inhuman. There's no need to ask. Well, ask why, right? Kaoru came in front of Tomoya with such force it almost seemed like she was about to punch him. You know, judging from what he said earlier, what she said earlier, Tomoe guessed that Kaoru was probably with Yue, kind of like in the gaggle of people around Yue. He said Tomoe guessed that Kaoru was probably also in league with Yue. Don't say that. I've been told all day, so I'm going to go buy a present. Isn't that fine? What do you mean, fine? You sound like you're looking down on her. Or me. No matter what I said, Kaoru seemed ready to get angry. Fine, I think it's my fault for what happened this time. Probably. Why do you say things based on conjecture? Well, then it is my fault. I thought I'd do something a little Christmassy in order to do that. In order to do what? I thought I'd do something a little Christmas-like. He's gonna argue. Huh, do you finally understand? If you leave your girlfriend alone, you'll be in big trouble. Yes, yes, Tomoya nodded. Well then, shall we take a look at this? Kaoru points to the movie signboard. We're going to see a movie now? When I look at the sign, it looks like she's in love. You mean Kaoru's in love with the movie? Look at the sign, it appears to be a romance story. Oh. Maybe I should take a look. I was wondering what to do when you pass by. Seems like you can cry. I was wondering if I could watch it and what I should do. When you pass by, apparently it's quite tear-jerking. I didn't feel like a person... Oh, I have to, like... I didn't get all of it. I didn't feel like a person would go to a movie knowing that they'd cry, but there was one person in front of me right now. Besides, what Kaoru wanted to see wasn't the kind of movie Tomoya would be interested in. Of course, Mikami-kun will be the one to do it. Come on. Kaoru casually grabbed Tomoya's hand, perhaps because she couldn't run away, or perhaps because her eagerness made her do so. What the world? It's like so random. It's like, you're ignoring Yue. Oh, by the way, watch a movie with me right now. Here, go. Here, goof. Hold on. That's why I'm gonna buy a present. Ice? What's ice? Oh, I see. Too bad. I thought I get to see it free. The ice cream is fine. You're gonna pay for the movie. Huh? Do you understand what I'm saying? There's no reason for me to serve Otoa-san movies and ice cream. Why? This is so unfair that the after story is based off of the other character's route. I do. How worried we've been about Yue-chan up until now. If If we hadn't met here, Mikami might have ended up making Yue-chan cry again without buying a present. You have to buy me stuff as punishment for what you did to Yue. What Kaoru was saying was right on the money. Tomoya still wasn't sure if he should meet Yue. I took good care of her heart. I took care of her heart. So it's only natural that her boyfriend would thank her. She took good care of my heart, right? So it's only natural that her boyfriend would thank her. Really? That doesn't make any sense. Well, I'll tell you the details after I eat. Come on. Kaoru pat Tomoya on the shoulder. There we go. Trying to click twice, drag something. They bought ice cream from a stand near the movie theater and sat down on a nearby bench. Oh, it's going to be a long story, isn't it? Still, I'm surprised you can eat in this cold weather. Tomoya sounded impressed. Mikami-kun, you'll understand once you buy it. This is really good. If it's good for a woman, then the heat and cold doesn't matter. Tomoya saw it as he watched Kaoru lick the ice cream. His face stiffens at the coldness of it. It's actually completely untrue. It's actually, women are more sensitive to extremes of temperature, particularly cold. It's like proven. What did you like? The female body has a more difficult time maintaining homeostasis, specifically in regards to temperature. So what do you decide to buy? Kaoru asked, putting ice cream on the bridge of her nose. First, the stuffed animal at the. Oh. Where'd you look? First at the toy store, then at the stationery store, and then. Oh, first I went to a toy store and bought a stuffed toy. Oh, he actually bought them. Then I went to a stationery store and bought paints and stuff. Huh? Don't give a present. You're not giving a present to an elementary schooler. If Yue had been in elementary school, she might be happy accepting a stuffed animal and paint and even a smoke-breathing kaiju. By the way, I will still take Lego. I don't like it as well as I used to, but I'll still take it. And I'm like not quite 30 yet. Time is running out. That's why I don't know what to give Yue right now. You see, she's my childhood friend. You get it? Why don't you understand? You're her boyfriend. This is the second time. What? Minamo-chan told me that about it earlier. If I asked her if she wanted to wear clothes. Clothes, huh? It's not like they're really good, but they're not bad either. Then what is good, Kaoru? Which is it, Tomoya wondered, charging forward in his mind. I wonder if there's anything else. I was wondering about shoes, but I don't know the size of UA's feet. It's a funny one. Uh, yeah, it's like, what presents would you like as someone who's like in his late 20s? I'd say, well, tools. I would actually gladly take underwear now. Underwear, socks, undershirts, scrubs, money, musical instruments, books on particle physics. I would say video games, but good luck trying to find something like that's the right thing for me. Like that, buying a video game for me would be very challenging. Hearing that, Kaoru let out a sigh and hung her head. You don't know anything? That's why you're childhood friends and that's why you're lovers? You do that a lot. Does anyone normally know the size of their boyfriend or girlfriend's feet? Well, I've known too much since I was little, so I don't know. Is there anybody who normally knows the shoe size of their boyfriend or girlfriend? Well, know her since I was little, so but I don't know. Um, Interesting question. I would know the shoe size. I know the shoe size of my nuclear family. Like I know my dad's shoe size. I can say it's not PPE, that's personal protection equipment. PII, there you go, personal identifiable information. It's not PII to say shoe sizes, so I'll just do it. He wears men's 12s. I know what my mom wears. She wears women's 7s. I think I know what my sister wears, although I'm not exactly sure. My best guess is it's women's 10s, which is about half sizes, right? So that'd be like a men's 7.5. I wear usually 11s, but depending on the brand of shoe, sometimes I have to go down to a 10.5. But it's usually 11, and there are situations where there's no half sizes, and I actually go down to 10. For example, like Choco sandals or ice skates, I actually go down to 10. Because I go down, and there's no such thing as 10.5 in those, so I go all the way down to 10. Same thing would probably happen if I were to put on like rock climbing shoes. Like I had to go down a size, and I would put on a 10, maybe, or 10.5. Anyway, so because I know like my nuclear family's shoe sizes, I would presume I would know my wife's shoe size if I were to have one. But I don't even have someone I'm dating. I don't know what happens if you're dating and you haven't married yet, whether or not you know the shoe size. But the size of the feet, huh? You can pretty much tell, right? Is that a thing in Japan? Just guess. What? But yeah, my dad's feet are slightly bigger than mine, so he doesn't go down like I do. Like he wears 11s more often. Mine are slightly smaller. They're just most of the time like it's within the same size range. The 11s are looser on my feet. Why are you recommending shoes so much? About 15 centimeters. Just guessing like how your feet are. 15 centimeters. 2.54 centimeters is an inch, I'll round that up to 2.5. 15 over 2.5 is 15 over 25, which is 3/5 times 10, which is 30/5, which is 6. So 15 centimeters is about 6 inches. Right? Yeah, because like 30 centimeters is about a foot. So that makes sense. And then that's really small feet. That's some small feet. Well, I didn't read that. Let me try to recover. Kaoru hung her head again. And you're just a kid. Let's just go to the shoe store. The shoe store. Why are you recommending shoes? Besides, clothes come first. Well, you see, for clothes, you don't just need, like for someone like me, like if you're buying pants, you just don't need one number. Like shoe size, you need two numbers. Fortunately, it's easier because my two numbers are more consistent. They're 30 by 32. If you buy something that's a 30 by 32, it will fit. Right, unlike shoes where sometimes you have to change the size, depending on the brands. Like, it'll always work if it's a 30 by 32. Shirts are worse. I have to try on the shirts. But it's like I need to know two things, right? It's harder. It's harder than the shoes, in that sense. Then wait until you're done eating. Mikami seems like he's going to pick something out of the ordinary by himself. Saying that, Kaoru took a bite of the remaining ice cream and stood, holding her aching head with the cold air. Holding her head, which was aching from the cold. Saw, we should go. Let us go. He goes, Daijobu, Kara. Are you okay? Like I said, you don't have to eat it when it's this cold. There's no need to worry. You should do it for Yue-chan, too. Give her cold ice cream in the winter. Man, that makes me want to eat Campbell's chicken noodle soup so bad. It's like, are you sick? Do you have the flu? No, I just feel like eating Campbell's chicken noodle soup. You're a total, what does that salty broth. You're a total talker, Tomoya said, searching for the shot that Minamo had told him about. Off to the cobbler he did go. No. Off to the cobbler she did go as fast as she could run, and she bought him some shoes of the finest that there were, and the soldier put them on. The shop was a short walk beyond the movie theater. It looked like it had fallen asleep, so it wasn't flashy, but if you peeked into the store you could see a few customers, so it must be pretty crowded. So it's kind of dingy, but still active. Here. There's no doubt about it. Judging by the look on Kaoru's face, she seemed to have visited the store several times before. Okay, she has a big collection of shoes. When we entered the store, there was fashionable music playing, and fashionable customers were choosing fashionable clothes to smile at as fashionable employees. That's what it looked like to Tomoya. Yeah, oshare na. That word got used a lot there. Fashionable, oshare na. It's kind of good. It sounds what it means, doesn't it? Which one should I choose? It's only natural, but since it's the first time I've ever bought a Western Asagohan, Western breakfast, also known as a shoe. The first time buying Western style women's clothing. Oh, you can get like the leather flats. I how do I describe it? They're like a slip-on leather flat. It's like not like, you know, it's like formal, but like you don't have to. It's not like like one of those like rigid, you know. I don't know. For some reason, think of it like the Phantom Sita shoes. That's where I come in. Be grateful to me for meeting you there. I'll give you a lot. You give me a lot of thanks for this. Kaoru rolled up her sleeves slightly and began evaluating the items. You're going to go for it again. Are you gonna rip me off again? Oh. It's like a background conversation? How rude. Don't choose for me. It's a thank you. It says thank you. Thank you. As she said that, Tomoe's like, are you gonna rip me off? Are you gonna basically pick something that's like really expensive? As she said that, Kaoru made her way to the store's palanquin. It's always palanquin. Indeed, if it weren't for Minamo, Kaoru, I would have been either terribly warm or bought something outrageous. What does terribly warm mean? Bright red stiletto heels. I'd probably be a loss right now. Okay, better. Or I would have ended up buying something totally ridiculous. Cowcut stilettos. While I was grateful for that, the shake and ice cream fees were an unplanned, painful expense. The cost of the shakes and ice cream was an unexpected and painful expense. What about the shakes? I thought that Yue was drinking shakes. Oh, whatever. I guess this is flashy. I feel like this is a little too revealing. Too revealing for shoes? What would that be, like Roman sandals? Kaoru was picking up clothes while commenting on her. Oh, Kaoru was picking out clothes. Okay, so this is about clothes, not shoes. It's like, what, this shows too much toe? Kaoru shows the cleavage between the toes. Kaoru was choosing clothes while making comments to her sleeping companion. Are you looking for something? Tomoya's heart skipped a beat for a moment when a clerk suddenly called out to him from behind in an unfamiliar shop. Sono desne. Well, you see, someone's helping me. Tomoya's voice cracked a little as he answered, I guess male customers really do stand out in a place like this. A Christmas present? Karissamasa presento desu ka? Is there a Christmas present? Yes. Hi. It's going to be like a jacket, or it's going to be like the, what's that character's name from Remember 11? It's like, it's like completely escaping me. Like, it's not on the tip of my tongue. It's on the back of my tongue. Like, I really have no, like, recollection of what it is. Like that expensive jacket. She would wear an expensive jacket. And then somehow Kokoro got a second copy of it from a different passenger. So they both had like identical jackets. Tomoya smiled as brightly as he could at the smiling employee. Mikami-kun, which do you want? Wait, does the employee know his name? Or is that Kaoru? Kaoru called out to Tomoya, who no longer had anything to say to the employee. Oh, okay. Oh, was she with you? No, that's not it. With that, Tomoya hurried over to Kaoru. No, it's not it that she's with me, but I'm going to go to her. Which color did you think would be better? The red one. Always the red one. Shall a yellow and an absolution. What's an absolution? Let me. Kaoru looked troubled as she holds a yellow, a red, and a differently colored dress in both hands. It's probably just a yellow and red one piece. Yes. What is a one piece? It's a dress. Yellow's from Minamo. Kaoru, you gotta pick red. Groaning, Tomoya tried imaging the picture of Yue wearing this. Red is too flashy. Doesn't it look even more childish? In that case, a calm yellow might be better. I want yellow. Or... it literally translates to I am yellow. Which is funny. Using the rough I. I prefer red. Then why'd you ask me? If it's already been decided, don't ask. That's a girly thing to do. Oh, now, I need to hear the boyfriend's opinion, so I can ignore it. I see, so that's how it is. Leaving Kaoru alone with a nod, Tomoya circled around the store. Clothes, miscellaneous goods, accessories, none of them interested Tomoya, but he brought Yue to a place like this. She would be happy, wouldn't she? He thought. Instead, he tried to put the clothes that caught his eye onto Yue like a dark, dawning doll. You mean like a mannequin? But they all looked so mature, they didn't suit her at all. In the midst of all that, I thought Kaoru was amazing for choosing that dress from earlier. Hey, how about this? When Tomoya turned around, Kaoru, who had darkened the red one-piece dress in question, taken, appeared wondering when she tried it on. Oh, donned. So Kaoru showed up with, the dress on. When Tomoya turned around, Kaoru appeared wearing the red dress she had tried on some time ago. We're not going to get a CG of this. Something you expect a CG of. Kaoru twirled around in front of Tomoya, her arms and legs exposed enough to make him wonder if it wasn't a little cold this season. Hey, your job is to help me buy clothes for Yue, not make me cheat on Yue. Just being able to sleep is so strange. Tomoya couldn't help but hold his breath. What? Tomoya gasped at how much his body had changed getting warm and sleepy. This is not good at all. I need to like figure out a way to adjust the OCR. Although I'm guessing what it's supposed to mean. He gasps at how much her body changed just by putting on new clothes, right? Just changing the Okay, let's see if I can fix this. So get rid of the 2, put a question mark, space. Just changing the clothes, I guess. Yeah, made all the difference. Tomoya gasped at the change. Oh, Toa-san. It's okay to say something like, it's beautiful, or it's beautiful because you don't need to be embarrassed. They're both the same, aren't they? No, well, that's true. Tomoya couldn't help but stammer. Kawaii desu ne. Woman. Who said that? Tomoya? Or someone behind him? Some creep. Kaoru blushed at the clerk's voice earlier. Oh, that's the creepy clerk. Okay. Like I said, she's not my girlfriend. She's my attendant. Even Kaoru seems to have changed. I imagine that what would happen if this were Yue. But it still doesn't suit her. Yellow really is better for me. Guess I had no choice then. That Kaoru headed to the fitting room with the yellow one-piece dress. Or his yellow one-piece. It's in Korean too. A dress is called a one-piece. I think both suit her perfectly. With this, tomorrow's pate will be perfect. No, like I said, she's not my girlfriend. I'm not going to a party. Is that the clerk, right? In response to the clerk's praise for wanting to sell his clothes somehow, Tomoya made a mental note of it. Kaoru, who had changed into a yellow one-piece dress, appeared. Looking at Yue, I thought it would suit her better to be bright than flashy. It really is yellow. Really, if you say so. With that, Kaoru, still wearing the one piece, headed to the register and started talking to the clerk there for some reason. What are you doing? Trying to seduce the clerk. You can go home now, thanks for giving me this. At those words, Tomoya's movement suddenly changed. Toya-san, what'd you say? I told you, thanks. Hold on, Toya-san, don't you have a big misunderstanding? Misunderstanding, I mean, this is Mikami-kun the street, right? As Kaoru answered as if it were the most natural thing in the world, Tomoya felt a little angry. Ano na Kyo wa Yue no Pe, right? Right. Today Yue's present is what he's trying to say. Oh, that's right, that's right. Yumasaka-san you chose it for Yumasaka-san, didn't you? So what am I? I don't. Naio. Why do I have to take care of you so much? Buy it yourself or get a boyfriend or something. If I did, I wouldn't ask Mikami-kun. As he spoke, Tomoya glanced at the price tag attached to the dress and was speechless. I can't. I can't. What, Mikami-kun? How much did you bring today? I can't buy it. Tomoya whispered softly into Kaoru's ear. Huh? I'm surprised you came here with that kind of war funds. You can't even buy accessories, can you? That's what I came to be so suddenly. Oh, I almost embarrassed myself. I'm going to change. So wait a minute, I'll go to the shoe store when I'm done with this. Nearly embarrassed myself. Okay. I'm going to change you, so please wait a bit. After this, we'll go to the shoe store. I don't know what that means exactly. I'm going to buy this. Ditto the OCR or so are. Some dithering. Okay. That's gonna thin it. See what that does to for me. Oh, it makes it different wrong. Let's go kind of in between. That set of kanji is nasty. Nope. So something to do with being hot and changing in the dark, but neither one is correct. Maybe the next line would be context. You really do want shoes, don't you, Otoa-san? So why do I have to buy shoes too? Tomoya watched as Kaoru hurried back to the changing room, then left the store. Okay, so I presume that none of the dresses got bought. So he just has stuffed animal and paints. I left the shopping district and didn't remember where or how I'd walked, but the next thing I knew, I'd come to Yue's house. So this is the answer. In the end, I couldn't buy a present. Okay, she bought nothing. I once turned my back on her and was about to leave, but I stopped myself and turned around. There's no way I'd mistake it. It's Yue's house. It's not because someone told me to. It's my will. I stayed put for a while, but Tomoya murmured as he tried to convince himself, then reached for the intercom. Pinhon, I think that's how the onomatopoeia goes. Pinhon. There you go. It's a p because there's that circle. So I goofed up the first time. I almost ran away at the sound of the bell, but that would be just a child's prank. I waited for the voice to come back to the intercom, but no one answered. That's because she's at your house. She's out, huh? Even as he said that, Tomoya pressed the intercom again. And as he thought, the second time was the same. Yue and her family must have gone out somewhere. They weren't there. Where did she go? Or where did they go? Even as he said that, Tomoya left Yue's house with a relieved look on his face for some reason. That night, unable to think, Tomoya crawled into bed. It wasn't so much that he couldn't think, but rather he didn't want to think about it. I should have stayed with Yue-san then. If that were the case, I should have called out to her sooner. Filled with self-reproach, Tomoya must have been tired because he immediately fell asleep and then had a dream. It was a Christmas dream, just like the last time. I wonder if it's when I was in elementary school, younger than before. In front of the big Christmas tree, Ayaka was showing Tomoya a Santa Claus doll made from felt. Merry Christmas. But like, Merry Karisamas. Yue smiles as she interrupts the happy-looking lid. In her hand is a failed Christmas tree made of colored paper. Yue broke into the happy face group, holding a failed Christmas tree made from colored paper in her hand. Yue no Shiri. Tomo-chan ni. I give this tree to Tomo-chan. Thank you, Yue. I want one too. Who said that? Three of them smiled happily. Or Nico. Then the screen went dark and the sound of the impact echoed through the darkness. It'd probably be the scene went dark. That sound. Then 3 candles appeared in front of me. Only 2 of them were lit on either side. It's that darkness again, Tomoya thought. This darkness was my own heart, and I remembered Ayaka saying that before. Starting this year, it'll be just the 2 of us, even though we've always been together. Come on, let's go home. I would say, come on, let's go home, but that is a completely butchered OCR job. Just the 2 of us, even though we've always been 3 people. Okay, but then this gets butchered randomly. It's a crazy phenomenon. Let's make it thicker. Okay. Why is that line so cursed? This clothes reminded me. You mean this scene reminded me of what Yue Ayaka had said about. Oh man. Oh, such a mess. Yeah, before the monthly issue. No. Shita. Okay. Let's try the previous line. It's probably seen, but it's like hard to figure out. So that scene reminded me about what Ayaka said about the monthly issue. Is the best I can do. I don't know what that means. Okay. Oh man, the OCR is like falling apart. Like I can't get it. Odd. Okay, let's try the next line down. I can grab that one. Kinda. I'm still thinking about Ayaka, you idiot. What are you saying? Keeping Yue away from me won't solve anything, though. Right, okay. But then. Oh, but the previous line didn't make it to the backlog because the backlog doesn't. No. Okay, next line. That's right. Even if you do that, Ayaka will still be depressed. Okay, next line. Now backlog. Okay, so two. Now let's try to grab the line I'm missing. Even though I know how Yue feels, no, I hate what I try to understand. There we go. Okay. Then Ayaka still will be sad. Right. Tomoya clenched his raised fist between them and punched himself. But there's a wrong kanji there. So that's not quite right. Well, there's definitely going to be a wrong kanji here. Oh, maybe he got him. This kanji are hard, but they got him. Okay. There were no pain, but the shock of being hit was the only thing I could feel all over my body. I keep punching 2 or 3 times, but there's no pain. That makes me feel more and more uncomfortable. Blah! Tomoya got up and looked around. It was his room. What a nasty dream. Might be really early in the morning, though. Did the classic get up really early on in the morning on Christmas Day. When he looked, he saw that the kitten had curled up and fallen asleep on top of the futon. Thinking that its weight must have been an unpleasant shock in his dream, Tomoyo gently pulled the two of them out of bed and went back to sleep. Or just it. And then a shrill ringtone rang out. Nanda, which is like, what is it? He got up and looked at the alarm clock by his bedside. Common sense says it's the middle of the night. He got up and looked at the alarm clock next to his pillow. It was the middle of the night, so common sense would dictate that someone wouldn't call me. Or would call me. Well, it's the alarm clock at the phone. Who the hell are you, seriously? Chilling from the cold, Tomoyo hurried to the phone downstairs. For the cell phone era, where I do like me sleeps next to my phone. Because my phone is one of my two alarm clocks, because I need two, because I just cannot get out of bed. The first thing that comes to mind is the faces of my parents who went overseas. There's a time difference, so I can understand why they're asking, but I'm sure they know that there's a time difference. Hello, Mikami. Otosan? Kore to mo... No, it's Okasan. Kore tomo otosan? Basically, it's like mom, dad. He says... Moshi Moshi, say something. Puh. Translate. Without saying anything, the phone hung up. Geez, a prank call. No, it's just to get him woken up. Or it's just to see that he's there. Not only had he woken her up, had whoever it is woken me up just as I was about to fall asleep, but on top of that, a silent phone call. The Sola Tomoyo put the receiver down as if slamming it down. Well, putting it down as if slamming it down. That's basically just slamming it down. Then he went back to his room. I touched it as if hitting it. Ha. Meanwhile, Yue quietly put the receiver down and put out a loud sigh. It's no use. During the day, she had decided to go to Tomoyo's house, just as Kaoru and Minamo had told her to, but somewhere along the way she refused. So knowing that it was late, she called, but she didn't know what to say. In the end, she hung up the phone without saying a word. I guess I have to go after all. Maybe I really do have to go. Yue shrugged at the sleepiness. Tomoyo was dragged back to the real world by the shrill ringtone of the phone that suddenly attacked him. Again? Who made this? Tomoyo cursed, half opening his eyelids. Was it a bell? Was it Bedouin? No, Edison? That doesn't matter. Is he like naming off famous inventors? At any rate, right now he was irritated with the unpleasant sound that stimulated his eardrums, that destroyed his precious time of peace. Who is it? Tomoya curled up on his futon and waited for it to fade away. Not only am I sleepy, I'm cold. In my warm, comfortable futon, my desire to stay like this for another hour, no, all day, his desire still existed. It was not shattered, but like it didn't come true. Was shattered. It's a holiday after all. I didn't have to wake up early, and I didn't mind just spacing out for the rest of the day. And yet the owner of the phone was persistently calling Tomoya, without knowing what he was thinking. Oh, I get it. It should be enough to make the rumbling ratio even better. The rumbling ratio. The rumbling stop, right? Google Translate. Paste it in. Stop. I have to change back to Romanji. Stop. Keishi. Grab the she part. Stick it in. It's about time it stopped ringing. Resigned to his fate, Tomoya poked his head out of his futon like a turtle sticking its neck out of its shell and glared into the air. The phone still hadn't stopped ringing. I'm completely awake now, but I don't want to get out of bed. Oh man, I know that feel, bro. Who was it? What was it for? Facing the invisible phone outside the room, Tomoya even felt murderous intent. I'm gonna kill this person. Shut up! It's Uruseizo. There's a Ruru in there. It's like, you're noisy. Even if he screamed, the phone wouldn't stop. The ringtone was loudly stimulating Tomoya's eardrums. Seriously, really, who are you? As Tomoya sat up and tried to stand up, the faces of various people appeared and disappeared in his mind. We're not going to have a montage of faces. It's too much production. The person calling me so persistently was probably someone I knew. Or so he thought. Even sales calls weren't this bad, but it might have been last night's silent phone call. Wasn't it still that night? Wearing a jacket over his pajamas, Tomoya shrank back as he stepped into the hallway. The phone doesn't stop ringing. It's cold. Tomoya shuddered involuntarily. In the time it took him to get to the phone, he thought he might as well smash this noise machine to the floor and destroy it, but decided not to. Fine, I'll come out. Just have to come out, right? Shouting even though no one was there, Tomoya tried to put his hand on the receiver. And then the ringtone stops. What good timing? No, bad timing. This? The hand that was about to pick up the receiver stopped in midair. Resisting the urge to truly smash it, Tomoya turned his back on the abominable machine that had interfered with his golden sleep. Although, oh yeah, there is the kanji for gold. There's the keen. So yeah, that's correct. Although you could also call it valuable sleep, right? Oopsies. Uh, okay, what goof up did I goof up? Okay. So, imagine just like just going punching through the entire like story and then rereading it all just in the backlog. Honestly, okay. But then I guess it would be he, right? Wondered yet again who would call so early in the morning. Was it harassment? Or was it pain? Or was it something else? Don't tell me. Yue. In that cloud of rain, Yue, as if she were opening her eyes wide and peering at me with a smile. Um, just be thicker. Thickness. Okay. Okay. Whoops. Okay. Let's try again. Similar. Okay. If it's Yue, you should probably come over to my house without calling. This some kind of. Is that some kind of phone call? Or what kind of phone call is that? Could something have happened to Yue? Nor was there an accident with my parents overseas? It had to be one of them. Nobody would call me so persistently. Tomoya, completely convinced it was Yue, that Yune was the owner of the persistent phone call from earlier, turned around and looked at the phone. What happened? Okay. Just as Tomoya reached for the receiver to try to call Yue again, the sound rang out again with perfect timing. Moshi Moshi. Okay, I'm gonna have to dither the OCR here, right? No. Ooh, that's thick. Ooh, it's really thick. Okay, let me try to make it less thick. Tomoya quickly took up the receiver and raised his voice. There was no response from the other end of the line. Moshi Moshi, Moshi Moshi, you. Comes from the side. I'm borrowing it. It's probably it's me, right? What the other person says is, it's me. I heard a man's voice from the other end of the line. Sheen. It's not like I've heard it before. It's more like the voice I don't want to hear right now. My bad friend Sheen. Oh, so it's not that I haven't heard it before. I knew who it was. With that voice, Tomoe felt drained. At the same time, anger welled up again. What's wrong? Don't tell me you mistook me for Yue-chan. That's what Sheen says. I heard Sheen's voice half laughing. I hit the nail on the head. Tomoe's body trembled with cold anger. He hit the nail on the head. And Tomoe's voice trembled with cold anger. Gah! By the way, don't do it that way. I think it's because that's like that constriction is way too low. I think this is more realistic though. We can do it higher. Gah! But it's a little bit easier in the voice. Shouting in a bestial voice over the receiver, as if slamming the receiver down, Tomoe tried to go back to his room. Tomoe went back to his room and pulled the futon over his head again, despite being the one who jumped to conclusions on his own, saying, "There's a limit to how much you can make a fuss." Oh. Tomoe closed his eyes again, his anger subsided. But heartlessly, that abominable ringtone rang out from the hallway. Okay, I had to pick a pause there, but I'm back. So this one is, Duh, I want to sleep, Sheen. Did I do something to make you hate me? Or what? Or did... No, it's just that's it. It's just, did I do something to make you hate me? I guess he said that to himself. Jumping up from my futon, his futon with a shout, Tomoe strode over to the phone again with long strides. Moshi Moshi, hey, cut it out, you. As soon as I picked up the receiver, Tomoya shrugged. As he picked up the receiver, Tomoya shrugged. Oh, you're so energetic this morning. You're making such big noises. My ears are twitching. No, you've probably been sleeping with drool all over this time anyway. Or maybe you're with Yue-chan. At a time like this, when he'd woken up in the worst possible way, Sheen's voice made him feel even more uncomfortable. He thought about hanging up the phone like this, but Tomoe figured he'd just ask what he needed to know. You idiot. So what's up with you calling me so persistently this early in the morning? You're the one who called me last night, right? Huh? What are you saying? That's fine. You're free anyway, aren't you? Don't leave the house today. Eh? That's all. Tomoe couldn't believe his ears. I'll scold you, so don't leave the house. Tomoya didn't know what was going on anymore after hearing Sheen's words. You called me it took all this time just to make fun of me. What the hell are you doing? What the hell is this guy doing? What's this guy doing? You don't have to tell me. Well, I don't really have anything to do today. Judging by the day's schedule, you don't seem to be making any plans for today. Sheen said, half laughing. Today, I don't know if we can necessarily translate that, but it would be nice if the OCR would actually pick it up. I completely forgot, and actually until yesterday, he had told me a lot of things. There's no way I could forget, but if possible, I wanted to forget. Today, Christmas. That's right, you remembered. Well, after all I've said, no, but you remember. Which means... Don't tell me you're going to have Christmas with me. I refuse. Are you stupid? Why do two men have to celebrate this wonderful day together? You know. Nichan, whatever that means. Oni-chan or whatever. Well, that's fine. Anyway, it looks like you didn't follow me and Futami-san's advice. Just stay home for today. He tried. With that, Sheen hung up the phone. What the hell is it? Now that he mentions it, he's right. I don't want to spend Christmas with Sheen. However, that and Sheen's instructions to stay at home couldn't be connected. Why? Everyone's working together to manipulate things behind your back Tomoya. You shouldn't be surprised by anything. There's all kinds of conspiracies going on here. Besides, in the end, I didn't even meet Yue yesterday. If possible, I wanted to spend the day alone like this, but I hurried back to my room to change my clothes, thinking that I should meet Yue after all. I took a look at the clock. It's already past 11. Oh, it's like half the day is gone already. Okay. I thought it was still early in the morning. But I was wrong. Damn, it's today. This is bad. I have to hurry. As I changed the dawn, the Paran. Tomoya blamed and resented himself for not coming up with any plans, let alone any presents. It says he's showing his clothes, right? As he changed the dawn. But on the other hand, it also felt like running away. Ping-pong. The doorbell rings. Hi. Yes? Flustered, Tomoya collapsed, one leg still raised, to put on his pants. Just walks out there with no pants. Or else like the pants around one leg and just holding the rest of the pants. The bell rings, but there was no response, so Yue took out a spare key. I guess she had. It's messing the kanji up. It's putting a star where there's two bars. You know, typical stuff. Ha. Tomoya's mother had given it to her, asking her to check on her son. Tomoya himself hated it terribly, but Yui carried it with her like a charm. She gently opened the door and quietly entered the entrance. Knowing what she wanted, she could go up to the house with her pounding power, but Yui waited for Tomoya as usual. Yesterday, Kaoru Minamo had pestered him, and I wanted to do something about it myself, so I dragged my heavy legs all the way here. If Tomoya hadn't been there, I'd even consider going home. You're late. She came here often, but this was the first time Tomoya had dealt with her so slowly. Maybe he's still asleep. Just as I started to think that, there was a loud thud, and after a while, Tomoya showed his face. It's like the pants problem. Ah. Yue-ka. Ohayo. Good morning. What were you doing? It's already so late. Tomoya appeared with a half smile. Yui smiled in return, unlike yesterday, with her usual smile. Returned the smile, just like yesterday. Well, I mean, they didn't even meet yesterday. Tomoya must have been really flustered because he forgot to fasten his belt, and it hung loosely from his waist. Oof. Tomo-chan, belto! Gomen. While Tomoya was wearing his belt with a clack, fastening his belt, Yui took off her shoes and proceeded briskly toward the palanquin. It's always palanquin. As if it were her own house. Wait. I came to check on the cats today. Anyway, I want an excuse to enter the house. After taking off her dark blue coat, Yui ran over to the cage where the cats were, took them out, patted them on the head, and started rubbing them against her face. Okay, were you lonely? Tomo-chan's bullying you, isn't he? Who would be happy to bully a kitten like that? More importantly, I got a weird phone call today. Oh yeah? I want to see this? Interrupting Tomoya, Yui returned the kitten to its cage and showed him a single videotape. It's a bare tape with no case or label. What is that? What? It's not a video. Come on. Yeah, I mean, she really says video janai. So, What is the tape if it's not a video? Yue smiled. No, it was just Yue. Yue beckoned Tomoya over to the, probably the TV, right? Let's go translate, I have to say. Yue beckoned Tomoya to the living room, okay. That's why I'm asking what's inside. It's pathetic, if I do say so myself, that this Christmas is a video viewing party, Tomoya thought as he sat down on the living room sofa. Still, it's rare for Yue to bring a video. The face of the movie-loving Kaoru flashed through Tomoya's mind and disappeared. This is good. Saying that, Yue set up the video and plopped down next to Tomoya. The large TV screen suddenly changes to a monochrome view. It looks like an old movie. You know, this is a really mean person. There's a really mean person here. Is that an accusation? Just Kana. Just be quiet and watch. If Yue talks to me like this, I feel like I'll end up talking about the punchline. What does that mean? I felt that if Yue continued talking like this, she would even tell me the punchline. That said, when Yue was sitting next to me, I could calm down and focus on the screen. For some reason, Tomoya felt his heart pounding and looked next to him. Oh, what's wrong? Yue, with a puzzled look on her face, looked back at Tomoya and smiled a little. Come on, it's starting. Yue, closed the distance between herself and Tomoya even further. Our shoulders touched and Tomoya's heart pounded uncontrollably. What was on the tape? The movie was about an overbearing moneylender reforming his ways by meeting 3 ghosts in the night and doing good deeds to the people. Okay, so it's an adaptation of The Christmas Carol, okay? Tomoya wondered if he'd seen it somewhere before, or if he'd read it before. He didn't know much about it, but it seemed to be a famous story. I wonder how many Japanese people reading this know who Charles Dickens was. The movie was about to end when a Christmas greeting without a care and about to end. Regardless, we exchanged Christmas greetings and the movie was about to end. It's like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Foon. It may have been cliche, but it was a pretty good movie, Tomoya thought. And then when he squeezed the hand on his knee, he instinctively leaned back. It's like, you're the man, Tomoya. Uh, Ball humbug. I was so focused on the movie that I completely forgot that Yui was sitting next to me. It's okay, isn't it? It's okay, isn't it? Everything's happy. It's good, isn't it? I took over to see Yui's face crumpled with tears. Wait, haven't you seen it a number of times? Is there really something to cry about? I thought it was a good story, but it's worth crying about, Tomoya thought? But, Dante. I, let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna try to save this line by pasting this kanji into it. Okay. At no point did she continue speaking and just burst out in tears. Come on, don't cry. Like, Tomoya is such an ignoramus. It's like, I totally doesn't get it. Tomoya has no idea. Tomoya took 2 or 3 tissues from the case lying at his feet and handed them to Yue. Uh, uh, thank you. And then it's kuju, which is probably not onomatopoeia, so I'm just going to take it as thank you. Okay. There's a lot of them here, Tomoya said, handing the whole box over. That was a good story, Tomo-chan. Well, it would be a problem if she told him to she told him to give her concrete impressions. So Tomoya gave a vague reply. Oh, that's coming. But this isn't like Christmas at all. I had avoided it until now, and today I was thinking of running away like this. However, Tomoya wondered if he could do something like that here. He also thought that might be enough to solve the problem inside him. Hey, would you like to eat something today? Somewhere? Oh, eat somewhere today. Somewhere. Let's open. After crying for a while, Yue smiles and looks up. Somewhere else? Somewhere other than here? Somewhere other than here. That's what Google Translate says for that. Tried saying it, but Tomoya had nowhere to go. He tried saying it, but... More importantly, what exactly is this image of Christmas, Tomoya wondered. Santa Claus? Nope. The City of Shining Lights? Nope. Roasting whole chicken? Nope. There's nothing I can prepare right now. Is where we get a Koyomi Machina. Just drops in with the food. At any rate, if we go out to the station, won't that give off the kind of atmosphere? I just thought of it as a brush. But, and while I'm at it, I can also buy a present. But nothing's open on Christmas Day. That's the thing. It's like, you want to go eat somewhere? No, because it's Christmas Day. I guess maybe stuff's open on Christmas Day in Japan. I mean, it wouldn't be in the United States. Like, you cook your own meal on Christmas Day because no one is open. You might go, it's a little bit odd because unlike Thanksgiving Day, there actually are places open usually, which is interesting. And that just, of course, reminds me of all the people who have to work in the hospital on Christmas Day. And why soon that should be me. But I'll continue. Okay, Google Translate says, I thought that if I went to the station, I'd be able to get a similar atmosphere. Also, while I'm at it, I could buy a present. Nah. Which is like, I guess, short for Nani. Speaking half forcefully, Tomoya placed his own hand in Yue's. It happened to be a perfect, natural way, but Tomoya quickly pulled his hand back. Sorry, I just PDA'd, as in private display of affection. It's okay, Tomo-chan. Tomoya's panic must have been funny because Yue smiled a little. Tomo-chan? Tomoya looked at Yue. Her face was filled with a smile as she stared straight at Tomoya. Remembering Yue's dream yesterday, or my dream about Yue yesterday, I can't look directly at Yue's face. Yue? Yue smiled awkwardly and pulled back her hand, trying to take it in her own direction. Tomoya approached Yue as if pulled back. What does that mean? Tomoya is drawn towards Yue and approaches her. Okay, that's the opposite thing. However, it's also true that there was a part of me in my heart that refused to do so. I couldn't help but wonder if Yue's bold actions had been intrigued by someone else. Right. I can't help wonder if someone had advised Yue to take such a bold action. Or maybe Ayaka's appeared to Yue in dreams. Although she does have like everybody, all the other girls around her. It's the same with the video earlier. The faces of Kaoru, Seiyumi, and Minamo floated into Tomoya's mind and disappeared. And then the sound of a violent knock on the front door rang out. And all of the cast pours in. Who would not consider ringing the doorbell? Seiyumi. No, Koyomi, which... Our last name is Seiyumi, right? At the sound, the two of them panicked and jumped back to either side of the sofa. What? Waiting for that Koyomi machine. Who could it be? Tomoya gripped stopped Yue from going out the front door. I will exit. I could probably tell just by looking at the bell, but the bell was looking at the bell. It would have been obvious just by looking at the doorbell. Why? That, like, mean they actually seen people? But Tomoya headed to the front door, wondering who it could be. The sound of knocking on the door continues to echo softly, sometimes loudly, in the hallway. I'm not beating the drum, Tomoya said, putting his hand on the doorknob. Okay, I'm going out now. Oh, it's gonna be a CG? Nope. Okay. Only for the CG was like all of them. What happened? What? That was a fail. Can I fix this? Yes, I can. Tomoya opened the door in a soft tone and opened his mouth wide. My vision is green. Does that mean it's Kaoru? Okay, let's go translate. I have to say. I wonder if there's an alternative rendering to green. Yet the world in front of me is green. Miraculously, there is a Christmas tree in front of the entrance. It creaks and shakes from time to time. Fear demonic green monster. Okay, so that is in katakana. It's written out green monster. So I guess that's correct. The Christmas tree screamed. Okay, I get it. What are you saying at your age? Yes, I get it. What? Yeah, at your age, I guess. Tomoya called out to the other side of the tree in an exasperated tone. Alright, did you find out? A grinning Sheen pokes his head from behind the tree. He's wearing a pardoned, apparently, Santa hat on his head. Did you bring something like this and start a plant shop? Plant shop. Tomoya puts his hand on the tree as he says that. He thinks it's artificial, but it's definitely a real fir tree. In a pot? I never heard of that. I never heard of potted tree. You're like, what do you mean? Like when you buy a tree from the nursery, but it's like the pot is always so much bigger. If you're going to do it anyway, I figured you'd do it in earnest. What do you mean by in earnest? Or for real? You really are embarrassing as a best friend. What day is it today? Said Sheen, right? Ooh, it's Christmas, right? It would be fine if we're just Sheen, but Shion Minami and saying we were behind him. We haven't mentioned Kaoru yet. I mean, Kaoru's in the picture. Everyone's grinning at what's making them happy. Oh. They were smiling with joy as if they were wondering what. Okay. What's wrong with everyone? Why are they all at my house? Why are they all crashing my house? Sheen grinned at the surprised Tomoya. Say no. 1, 2. Merry Christmas. At Sheen's signal, everyone in front of the door joined their voices. So, what? I told you to stay home today. Sheen grinned even more at Tomoe, who had no idea what he was talking about. Damn it. Tomoe had completely forgotten about that call from Sheen. Oh, didn't you know? Today we're having a Christmas party at Mikami-san's house. Shion was holding a bunch of paper bags in both hands, looking surprised. Why? I didn't hear anything like that. Yes, we're imposing this on you. Don't be so stiff. It's called a surprise party. Also known as a Sun Plaza Bertie if you're an offline translator. But it says surprise party. It's a surprise. Don't say that. I'm kind hearted, so I thought I'd make you happy. So I gathered people who had nothing better to do on this day. Wait, none of them had anything better to do? I have to go back and read all that because I accidentally messed up. Okay. That's the line. Okay, I'll grab this chunk. What are you talking about? You're the one of the most free time on your hands. I'm the one who put in a busy schedule, says Tomoya. Uh, all these other people who don't have boyfriends, all these girls that don't have boyfriends, because, Tomoya didn't pick their route. I don't know. Now then, let's go. Come in, everyone. And Tomoya said, it's my house. Oh, and then Kaoru suddenly is mentioned. Sheen, who didn't believe in Kaoru's verbal abuse at all, put the fight on Tomoya's head. It went up why does Kaoru have anything to do with this? And went in the front door with the tree in his arms. The other members followed him inside. But why me? There's gotta be another good place. Because you're Scrooge. Tomoya stood alone in front of the door, wondering what was going on with his body. Or his house, for that matter. Nice to meet you. Ma. Well, every time? Oh. Okay. I don't know what every time means. So it's Reebing, right? Yue smiled slightly at the Christmas tree that had been appeared in the. Oh goodness. Yue raised her hand lightly in response to the enthusiastic greeting of the Christmas tree and that appeared in the living room. I knew it. Yue-chan, so you're here. So are you in the way? Oh, it's good, good. Yue-chan, jeez. For some reason, everyone blushes at Kaoru's voice. Konnichiwa. You're up early. Who said that? Who's up early? Sheen? It's like noon now. They had to watch at least, well, it could be even later. They had to watch the entire adaptation of The Christmas Carol, so it could be like 1 in the afternoon. As for Shion, she seemed completely carefree, greeting me normally. You're up early at noon. Well, it's fine, isn't it? I'll do. It's something two eggplants do. That said, I'm still plenty young. What? Well, that's fine. It's something the two of us should do. I'm still young enough, though. What? Sayumi poked her head out from behind Minamo and Shion. I'll just put the tree down. Sheen placed the tree in the corner of the living room with a thump. Sheen-kun, are you going to decorate that? Well, it looks like it was already decorated in the CG background, whatever you want to call it. Of course it is. We can't start without this. Thanks to Onechan, its connections, we got the real thing. Man, we were lucky. Nodding, Sheen lowered the rucksack he was carrying and opened it to reveal a tree decoration set, an ornament, and a light fixture. So just the ornaments and lights, right? Come on, let's have a party. Wait, getting ready comes first, huh? Yue-chan, help me out. Yeah, Yue smiled. What are you doing? Getting spruce needles all over your house you'll have to clean up afterwards, Tomoya. Tomoya went, or fir needles. Tomoya went back to the living room, trying to sort out what was going on in his head, and when he saw Minamo and Sheen decorating the room, not just the tree, but all over the place, he was speechless and said, "You don't have to go that far." Yeah, it's like they're just gonna leave it all for him to clean up afterwards. Tomo-chan, help me with this. In the corner of the room, Yue, who had gotten tangled up in the lights and was about to turn on into a human Christmas tree, begged for help. Yes, yes. Uh, Tomoya wondered what would happen if they kept turning it on. What? I wonder what will happen if we just leave the power on like this. Tomoya gives a vague answer, asking what will happen if the power is turned on. Glow. You generally you don't get shocked from Christmas tree lights. There's like it converts down or something. Mikami-san, more importantly, please take this. Shion's voice echoed from the kitchen. So I'm gonna help out over there. Oh, Tomo-chan, you heartless bastard. The more she struggled, the more the lights and cords tangled around Yue. Yue-chan said she'd get even more involved, so just leave her like that. I'll save her now. What? Yue-chan, leave it as it is, because it will only get more tangled up. I'll help you now. What? I don't get helping what or not. Sheen, who had been riding in his chair and decorating the ceiling, called out to her. When Tomoya went to the kitchen, he saw that Kaoru was moving the knife awkwardly under Sayumi's watchful eye, and next to her, Shion was poking and prodding as she twisted the plug on the Beto Hotoru. What is a Beto Hotoru? I don't know what cooking instrument that is. I assume it's a cooking instrument. When Tomoya went to the kitchen, he found Kaoru under Sayumi's watch, awkwardly moving a knife with unfamiliar hands. And next to her, Shion was turning the stopper on the something other while asking a pointed question. The normally docile Shion, blushing and wrapping her arms around Shion usually gives off a quiet vibe, but seeing her blushing, wrapping her arms around him refreshed Tomoya. Oh, that happened, okay. What's wrong? I'm sorry, this is hard. Thank you for... Shion handed Tomoya the... whatever it is. She must have put a lot of effort into it because she sighs and waves. When I look at the label in my hand, it says something in a foreign language. It looks like mineral water. Oh, it's a bottle. Okay. Beto bottle? Okay, so this is like the whole... This is the pickle jar meme. Okay. I brought some Christmas tea to prepare. Today I'll have some Kalon Ubaha and Latnabra, which is British stuff that's transliterated into Japanese. The sweet aroma and fragrance and pun pungence give it a fragrant flavor. But I can't open the package. Put roses, marigolds, yaguru, some other flower, orange peels in there to make a special blend that enhances the splendor and fragrance. But the most important, water is... This is really... Oh, she can't open the water. Tomoya couldn't understand a single word of what Shion meant. All he could do was nod in agreement. If it's water, you should just use the aqueduct, which is the faucet, right? The plumbing. I put a little strength into it, and the plug opened without any difficulty. Yes, what? As Tomoya was about to return the bottle, Shion raised both eyes and glared at him. There's something... Nanka. What'd you just say? Hi. Soka. Hi, dozo. Dana. What? Okay. Hi. Okay. Abandoned. Oh. No, it's just hi. You don't need to collapse that into a kanji. Yes, I see. It means yes, yes, please. No, before that. long hair standing on end. There's something wrong with her. Tomoya thought this might have flipped a strange switch, and when he looked, Kaoru sensed something was wrong first, and Sammy hid in the corner of the kitchen to see what was going on. He's like... Sammy waved her hand as if to say, "Please go ahead, take him on." Maybe it's something like, "Why don't you use the water supply?" What about it? Yeah, that's it. Sho made a big face. The force of it made Tomoya step back a little. He wanted to run back to, Ping? Bing? Uh, I wanted to run back to the living room, but it was too late. Matching Tomoya's movements, Shun glared at him as he steadily made his... Shun glares at Tomoya and turns impatiently with him, matching his movements. What do you mean water from the aqueduct is fine? That's crazy. This water is 22 hard and 7.3 weak alkaline, pH of 7, something about 22, and has a pH of 7.3, which is weakly alkaline, soft water from Lombardy in northern Italy. Ah. I don't know if it really matters where water comes from. What matters is what the impurities are. It was UA. If it was UA, she could just energetically say, "What do you want to do with this one? Hurry up and make some tea." But that wasn't what she wanted. Tomoya held out both hands to calm her down and retreated. Shun looked like she was obsessed with something, but Tomoya had no idea what she was talking about. Okay, Google Translate. Get rid of these slashes here. Okay. Contains delicate ingredients such as glutamic acid and theanine, and in order to enjoy its delicate aroma, it's essential to use soft mineral water with a hardness of 50 or less. Whatever. I don't know how you numerically describe hardness of water. It's true that tap water can be more delicious, but today is a special day. There's no point if it's not this. Even water is a living thing. I don't know how long these children have been waiting for this day. I see. Futami-san, calm down. Even if I tried to deny it by waving my hands like they were about to tear off, there's nothing I could say in reply. Tomoya accidentally went first person. It's third person. Tomoya simply tried to smooth things over with a strained smile, but he knew it would be a pointless resistance. Can you calm down here? Mikami-san, are you telling me to use tap water? This water is... Shion jerked her chin up as if spitting out everything that had been building up in her stomach all at once. She wasn't going to throw up a heat beam here, was she? No, that wasn't true. That said, Tomoe instinctively took a defensive stance with both arms. Don't tell me Shion's about to spill the water. Italiano. Don't spill the water, Shion. Just as she was about to fire, Shion's movements become more distinct and she hugged her head dejectedly. Futami? Timidly, Tomoya looked up. I got so excited about what I did. I am sorry, Mikami-san. Shion lifted her head as if possessed and immediately bowed her head to Tomoya. No, I don't really mind. Just don't spill your expensive water. You could tell she had gone back to sanity, question. But Tomoya still hadn't lowered his guard in his mind. I'll get ready right away. Shion looked down and started preparing the tea again. Okay, so she doesn't... whoever wrote this didn't write that she spills the water. This time her face looked red from embarrassment. Well, maybe it was written in such a way that the reader was supposed to, anticipate that she would spill the water and scare the reader. With this, Tomoya thought it would be better if they found even one spider and made a fuss about it, so he left the kitchen as if running away. Are you done already? Sayumi and Kaoru called out to Shion from the corner of the kitchen. Shion was embarrassed that she had lost herself in the sound of her voice, and she ended up facing them again. When I returned to the living room, there was a commotion as if the party had started first. Or had already started. Actually, it was going a bit too far. A gold and silver mall and Santa dolls and socks hung loosely from the ceiling in the flickering lights of the room. Mall. In the room where the electric lights flicker, gold and silver tinsel Santa dolls and stockings hang loosely from the ceiling. Okay, here's the problem. I have to quit because I have to get up early tomorrow morning. But it's really an annoying place to stop because I know I'm kind of towards the end of this. And great. So there might be a short one to finish this, but I have to stop this one here. So I'm going to stop it. This has been a translation disaster. I'm sorry. This is just the worst translation job I've ever done in Memories Off so far, I think. Ugh. I got the point and everything, but man, it's a disaster as far as the exact wordings. Yes. Okay. Let's turn off the OCR, the video. Clear list. Okay, so all of the scenes from the after story are here. What's the last one? Oops. What's the last one called? I took the OCR off the video, but I still have it, of course. I'll always be there. Itsumo demo Soko ni ite. Yep. Um, so I just need to finish the scene. And I'll be done. The after story, that is. And then go to the other category. There's this. Zoom it in and out. New outfit for everyone, basically. Yeah, the Christmas tree already decorated in the painting. Shion just, it's like, wow, is Minamo taller than Kaoru? I guess Shion's so tall because she's a 1/4 Norwegian. Oh, I can zoom in all the way. That's the idea. Okay, that's it so far. Well, there might be another one from the after story. I just haven't got it yet. Okay, well, try to do better next time, I guess. I'm not going to say any important stuff because this isn't the last recording on this. I have to do another one probably tomorrow.